Hey guys, what's going on? Kryoz here. So somebody was asking me to do a video over the Frostmage Mastery, so I figured why not. So the new Frostmage Mastery, if you guys don't know what it is, the new Frostmage Mastery, whenever you damage enemies with your Frostbolt, Frostfire Bolt, or your Water Elemental's Water Bolt, 40% of the damage done is stored in an Icicle with you for 15 seconds. Five Icicles can be stored. Obviously the 40% is based on what your Mastery is. So if I were to take away Mage Armor, it would drop down to 33.46, and I only store 33% of it. So that's obviously your Mastery part of it. Now, in order to kind of compensate for the loss of the other Mastery, they did buff our Ice Lance spell power scaling, I believe, by 29%, and I think our Water Elementals damage by 19%. So first, let's see what it can do. So 102k, so this should hit for around 50k. So far my Ice Lance Icicle goes and hits for 42,000, a pretty good number. Now this Mastery is not affected by the Shatter effect. So if I root it, I can't root one of those, but for some reason I actually can't test on 90 dummies. Whenever I test on 90 dummies, there's a horde there. Thank God I'm not flagged. Whenever I test on 90 dummies, it actually doesn't even go off. But as you guys see, this Mastery would actually be pretty good. But if I attempt to do this on a player, then the numbers just like disappear. So like this would be like 20Ks. You know, 20K, 20K, 20K. But let's try it on a player. Okay, so I'm in a BG now. Usually a BG is the best place to find people of the opposing faction that you can attack. At least in my experience of WoW, it has been. So I cast a Frostbolt on this guy. It's for 22k, 23k pretty much. You can see it should have been a 9k Icicle. Ended up being a 3k Icicle. So I don't know if it's intentional to maybe be double dipping on resilience. But it almost seems like the damage it stores is also taking into account like X% of resilience. And then when the Icicle hits, it's also taking out the resilience. You know, I cast on this guy. Hit him for 25k, another 25k, followed up by 52k crit. So another Ice Lance right after for about 26k. So there's those 3.5ks and a 7k in there. The 7k is obviously from 52k. The 7k or the 50k should have been around probably a 20k-ish Ice Lance or Icicle, I mean. And 7k is nowhere near 7k. But like if you do the math right, okay, you take 50,000, okay. Now the reason you take 50,000 I think is because that's a pretty close to average Frostbolt crit. Now you want to divide that, or you want to do 40% of that. Now to do that you'd multiply by 0.40, and that'll give you 20,000, okay. So when you get that 20,000, let's say you can get the resil, because like just in case, you know, it's only dipping once on the resil, okay. So multiply that by just the base resil of 65%. That should give you around 13,000, okay. Now it's actually hitting for way less than that. So what I'm assuming is you hit the 50,000, okay, and then it takes out the resil of 65%, which I think is 32,000. Then it stores the 40%, which is 13,000, and then I think it takes the resil out again from that 13,000, which I believe would leave you with around 8.4k. Now that's pretty close to what it was. It's not exactly it, but I feel like that's probably what's going on. That's the only thing I can guess. Now I got 8.4k whenever I did all that on my calculator. So if it were to do it that way, that's the closest way I can replicate of why it's hitting so softly. It's double dipping on the resilience of the target. Now that's the only thought I can think of. I know it shouldn't be. There's no reason for it to be. It needs to be on what it hits. But what I think it's doing is it takes what it hits, takes out the resilience, does the 40%. When it hits again, it takes out the resilience again. So it just hits, not even like a wet noodle, because wet noodles can actually sting. It just hits like somebody threw a piece of, not even a crumbled up piece of paper, just a regular piece of paper at you. It needs to get fixed. If it doesn't get fixed, I believe fire is going to be the dominant spec. Now I said that with the last mastery. I was mostly kidding with the last mastery. I would actually rather have the last master we had, the only increased damage on our Fingers of Frost Ice Lance procs and our Brain Freeze and our Water Elemental damage. I would rather have that than this, unless this gets fixed. Now, if this were to benefit from Shatter, which it does not, by the way, this does not benefit from the Shatter effect. Now, if it did, it would actually still be pretty decent as is. It would still be pretty weak. I would still rather have the other mastery. But if it did benefit from Shatter, it actually wouldn't be too terrible. Now, I think the best way to fix this is either have the Icicle totally ignore resilience in, like, even when it fires off. I think if it ignores resilience, like, in all ways, okay? I realize it's double dipping on Resil, so it should be hitting for around 13k instead of, you know, like the 20ks or whatever. But if it just ignored Resil altogether, it'll be an amazing mastery. Just absolutely amazing, but we'll see what Blizzard does. Hopefully they know it's broken. But I hope they do something about it, because if not, I have a bad feeling for Frost Mages next season. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, be sure to drop a like down below, and I'll see you guys later. Let me know your thoughts on this. Now, I plan on doing a series giving my thoughts on all the classes. Now, I can't give too in-depth on all the classes, obviously, but I plan on making those soon. But once again, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.